Okay. So it's kind of ironic because I'm the type of person who pretty much demands receipts. Some of the viewers here who I've butted heads with in the past uh, can understand that there's been so many times in which I've said, "Where's the proof? Give me the receipts. Give me the receipts." Oh, you say so? Prove it. Because let's be honest here. Out here in the YouTube streets, in the Delphi streets, the rumors run rampant, and so many things that people say are not true. Uh, there's straight up rumors. There's straight up disinformation. There are there are aspects that have been introduced into this community solely for the purpose of causing confusion and I mean, straight up lies is the way I would say it. And those lies turn into facts in the Delphi case because people don't demand uh, receipts or proof or critical thinking. Okay. And so I've so often said to people who bring me information, I say, okay, where'd you get that? Where's the proof? Show me the proof. Show me the receipts. You have to prove it to me because if you just say it, all I'm going to do is put it to the side. Okay. It's not because I'm trying to be mean to anyone. It's not because I don't think you're important or smart. It's because I cannot introduce into my mind things as facts that are not facts. It has to be very convincing to me. Okay. So I know it's ironic that I would attempt to relay to you things that I don't show you the receipts for or the proof of. And that's indeed what I did in my last attempt at this video. Okay, so you may remember 2 or so weeks ago, I covered this topic, uh, the controversy over the BG video, and I did so without receipts because I didn't want to cause drama with the receipts. Okay, so ultimately, I expected you to take me at my word because I knew what I was talking about. I thought it was important, and I thought that receipts were not necessary because people would only say that I was using them against them. Okay, so there was a second part. Okay, there was a second part to it as well. And that is that I was extremely mean. Okay, now, why was I mean? Well, I was mean to try to make a point, to try to shake people up, to try to get you to surpass or bypass this cognitive dissonance, which might cause you to not want to believe what I was saying. So I thought, well, in order to shake these people up, get them emotional, and maybe open their ears, I'm going to have to be mean. So not only did I not show you receipts, but I was mean. Okay. And people didn't understand it. And, I was going to let it go. I was going to let it go because what happened is someone struck the channel to try to take that video down because they didn't like what I was saying as far as the facts. Now, allowed the video to remain down because I was mean. And I thought, it's not the best look for me to be so mean. So instead of wasting my time with the appeals process and contacting YouTube and all of that, I thought I'll leave the video down because anyway, I have a backup. If I ever want to put it back up, I already have it. So I could always just repost it. But I thought, no, I was pretty brutal with my words purposely. And I didn't like that. And I would have left it. Except that yesterday, I intended to do a show yesterday evening featuring some law enforcement officers. I had a wonderful show planned. And in the couple hours before my show, somebody messaged me and basically rose my blood pressure through the roof because they contacted me saying, people are asking this and that, and they're saying you're going after people and blah, blah, blah. And the statements that were relayed to me infuriated me so much that I said, fuck doing a show. And I instead chose to relax myself and spend a nice evening at home, not doing a show for you. And I canceled on my law enforcement officers. Now, this concept of going after people or the concept that criticizing someone who's doing bad shit would be seen through a lens of attacking someone when that's not what it is. Because, hey, attacks are attacks, criticism is criticism, truth is truth, transparency is transparency, and it's just a damn shame because it's so insulting. It really is, because I feel like I sit here 15 hours a week and dedicate that time to Richard Allen, to Abby, and to Libby, and to the family members who care about them. And I feel like, you know what? It would be nice if people would actually acknowledge the sacrifice that I've made over the past 2 years and the sacrifice that my young child has made while I've done this. But no, they can't handle it. You see, people cannot handle it for whatever reasons. Selfishness, narrative control, being bad actors. It's funny. And honestly, I understand. I understand that the problem is that people develop allegiances or sympathies to people, and they might not want to hear the truth about someone that they've attached themselves to. And so I figured there would be hurt feelings and animosity because saying things people don't want to hear about their internet friends. And so it's just been something because I really take it offensively when someone says, Prof, you're going live tonight? Please don't go after anyone. Don't attack anyone. So I thought, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to do something. I'll put it in the way that they would probably say it. I'm going to have to do a journalism. I'm going to have to do a truth telling. Because you just won't quit. And all I ever asked was, please just clean up the situation. I said, please clean up the situation. And listen, I'd like you to know that this is how I started, with this group. I said, please clean up the situation. And so this is how it's going to end. I'm going to say, I'll help you clean up the situation. Okay? Um, so there are so many things at play. And what I really hate are the political implications. I hate the clicks. I hate the gaslighting and the Darvo because, let's be honest here, uh, it began to occur to me this week that the reason we haven't gotten this cleanup of the situation that I'm upset about is deny, reverse, victim and offender. So there will never be an admission because that would not be denying. And of course, there's going to be reversal of victim and offender. And you're going to find out tonight that that's exactly the road we've been down. And like I'm saying, this is a whole PR effort on both sides. It's a whole PR effort. Listen, if you don't think that the state is interested in PR, and if you don't think that the defense is interested in PR, well, you've got it all wrong. Okay, you've got it all wrong. So this is a whole PR mess, and I started to look into PR messes. And basically, the reality of it is Darvo is the way. You see, Darvo is the way. They never admit wrong. This is what happens. You never admit the wrong because admitting the wrong is admitting someone else is right. So instead of admitting the wrong, you deny, and then you reverse, and you make the truth teller the bad guy. All right? So, so yeah, if you're in it, if you like the, maybe I'll put it this way: if you don't like the drama, now would be the time to leave. Okay, this will be a drama stream. We will not be talking about the case. We'll be talking about drama. This will be a drama stream. Let's see. Now, why is it important? Well, because you see, what you've got to understand about this case is it is drama. Okay, it is drama. This is the thing. There's so much drama involved in this case, you'd never understand it. You'd never imagine it. And you would never understand the levels that go through. For instance, just in the past 48 hours, someone literally faked a self-deletion attempt, called the paramedics, got placed in an ambulance, and went on a live stream while in the ambulance to prove they were in the ambulance. All for YouTube drama regarding the Delphi murders case. Yeah, that's right. It's the type of shit that happens. It's Delphi after all. So anyway, drama. Now, why is there drama? I've always said, like for 2 years, I've been saying, why all of this? Over 2 dead kids. Why all of this? Who would ever think that it would be all of this over 2 kids? I mean, hey, there's no doubt that there have been self-deletions. There have been self-deletion attempts. There have been murders, and there have been faked suicides. So it's just very bizarre. And so this is what we're dealing with here. It's absolute chaos. And I feel like, I've said so many times, I don't care about coming back and doing this one more time. Honestly, I'd probably quit, and I may quit. But I feel obligated to tell the truth. And I have no friends. You know, I've told my friends, I have no friends in this. I'm not trying to have a, I don't know, some sort of clique that I'm clicked up with. So I just find it pretty disturbing because you may have noticed that I spent a good year fighting the troll farm, and the troll farm is still threatening to do things to me. Hell, I I would prefer to be talking about that troll farm because I have an entire 2 shows planned on the topic. But I can't even get to that. When the lady called me yesterday, she said, "Well, they say that there's a lull on the case, and every time there's a lull on the case, you go into attacking people." And I said, "No, no, no. I have 12 shows lined up. I have 12 shows lined up. Okay. The next 12 shows I already have lined up. I have outlined and I have all of the slides. It's not like I don't have things to present, but these more pressing things keep surfacing, which I have to address and put the other stuff on hold for. And so once again tonight, instead of doing one of the next handful that I have planned, I have to put all that on hold and deal with what I feel needs to be dealt with. And and so that's what I'm dealing with now. Just like I said in my last show, which I hope all of you really enjoyed. I mean, I really enjoyed the last show. The last show, we had such a positive response to. It was called "The Community Reacts a Safe Space." We've got thousands of views on that. It was a pretty good show. There were things that I didn't anticipate presenting in that show that were positive, and then there were guests who I didn't anticipate coming on that were interesting. So it was a good show. Okay. And anyway, hopefully tonight's show will also be somewhat informative. But anyway, so I think it's important to share with you my own experience and maybe show you some things and maybe help everyone understand. Because one thing that that a friend who called me helped me to realize is that no one understood, even though I said, I guess this is bringing us full circle in that even though I said, this is what happened with this video release, this is why I'm upset, this is who was involved, apparently no one believed me because the questions that she came at me with were odd. And I said, wait up, I've already said all this. But I had to explain it to her piece by piece by piece by piece, one step at a time, for her to have this aha moment and realize there was a reason I was upset and I was telling the truth. And I realized, wow, do I really have to lay it out so clearly? Can't you just understand what I'm saying? And anyway, it made me realize that, yeah, I probably do have to lay it out for all of you somewhat, because I don't need you all to be confused about what I was trying to do. You know, yes, I will admit I was mean. Okay? But sometimes there's a time for that. There is a time for that because sometimes there's an effect that comes from being mean, which produces a result that only that would produce. It's kind of like a really loud cymbal crash or whatever in the music. All right. So, like I said, I don't even know where to start. There's a lot here. So there's a lot. Um, let's do it this way. All right. Let's do it this way. Okay. I'll start with this if I'm able to. Let's see. Let's say. Okay, so there is this website, you know? Now, let me see if I can fix this screen in just a moment. Fix this, something like this, maybe? No. Well, like this. All right. So there's this website. This website, rickallenjustice.com. All right. Let's take a very close look at this. Justice for Rick Allen, right? Not Abby and Libby. A wrongful conviction built on doubt. The prosecution's case against Richard Allen in the Delphi murders lacked strong physical evidence. I would say true. DNA analysis failed to link Allen to the crime scene or victims. True. Firearm analysis, a key part of their argument, relied on subjective comparisons and couldn't definitively tie the unspent round to Allen's gun. Eyewitness testimonies were inconsistent and unreliable. True. With conflicting descriptions of the suspect. True. Notably, the prosecution's star witness admitted the bridge guide description didn't match Allen, undermining their core theory. Okay, I think that's a pretty solid paragraph there. Instead of concrete evidence, the prosecution relied heavily on alleged confessions Allen made while in solitary confinement. Well, let's be clear here. They're not alleged. They are confessions. Okay, so because we don't want to gaslight ourselves, do we? He confessed. The defense argued these were unreliable due to Allen's declining mental state caused by isolation and harsh conditions. Prison staff testified to Allen's erratic behavior, including self-harm and delusions. Yes, suggesting his confession stemmed from a mental breakdown, not guilt. Well, I tend to disagree with that at this point, and I'll explain why. The defense also highlighted coercive interrogation tactics, which is not illegal. So let's not gaslight the public either. Coercive interrogation tactics, as ugly as they are not illegal. Lying about evidence and threatening the death penalty. It's called the Reed technique. It's just fine. It's used by law enforcement every single day in every single jurisdiction. Okay. Now, let's go back, because this is a terrible paragraph, actually. The confessions were coerced, in my opinion, by threats of death to Richard Allen, his wife, and his mother-in-law, and perhaps his daughter. Remember, is my wife alive? Is my family alive? Okay, I've gone over it so many times for you. It's in the Frank's memorandum. I believe Rick was threatened to confess on phone calls by threatening him and his family. Right? The lack of physical evidence and questionable confessions raise serious concerns about the fairness of Allen's conviction. No, not the conviction. Let's talk about like his there's no fairness of a conviction. The conviction is either a conviction or an acquittal. Okay, he received a conviction, bottom line. You should be discussing the fairness of his trial. Okay. We're now preparing for Richard Allen's post-conviction legal work. Who said it's going to happen? Who said that's going to happen? That's not a necessary in the world of convictions. Okay. Rick Allen has appellate attorneys who will handle his appeals process. And here's the concerning statement for me. We need your help to make this happen. Who is we? Who is we? Who is we? What help do you need to make post-conviction legal work happen? Are you talking about financial help? Are you talking about a fundraiser you're going to have? We need your email below. Okay? Enter your email address. This campaign is independently managed and will support the appeal process. Well, hold on. This is not a website by the appellate attorneys, is it? All personal information you give these people and you don't know who they are will be held private. Used solely to help them make this happen. Okay? So anyway, you know this website, and this is where this happened. Okay? This alleges or asserts that the attorneys representing Mr. Allen recognizing this significant public interest in the spirit of transparency, which there is none. We're going to get into that. Okay, so remember, this is before the court released a single thing. Okay? Also remember, this description right here was added after the fact. Okay? So what we saw was this verbiage here, and then we saw this video release. Okay, now this video released caused a lot of questions. Do all of you remember? Do you remember what kind of questions this caused? Is it fake? Is it real? Is it enhanced? Is it not enhanced? Is it from the phone? Is it from the enhancement? What is this? Why does it look strange? It looks very strange. It seems altered. It seems faked. Remember? Is it AI enhanced? Who's the voice? Who's the whispering voice? Why does shadows look funny? All kind of things. So remember that for years, we only saw the little 3-second clip of Bridge Guy. We never saw this. Okay. So this is the absolute most important reveal of this information to the world. All right. So naturally, people had questions. I mean, let's be honest here. There were lots of questions. First being, who put this on the internet? Who released this? Is this coming from McClelland? Is this coming from law enforcement? Is this coming from the defense? What is this? I remember at least 15 emails that I received. Okay? At least 15 emails. And I didn't have answers for people. So I did a thing. Now, let me describe this to you. When I noticed the website, a little bell went off in my brain. And I said, you know what? That sounds familiar. Gee, I remember that. You know, this is what I said. I thought, oh, I remember that. Sounds familiar. Sorry. Pardon. So let's see. So I thought, let me see what I can do. Jeez. I'm a little upset right now. Hold on. Well, I'll just stop doing that and I'll look at the screen. Okay. So I thought, hey, that sounds familiar. rickallenjustice.com. So I did two things. Okay. First thing I did, I searched the internet obsessively in a sequential fashion, going back in time 2 years. And I said, hey, what was the first use of rickallenjustice.com? When did it first appear on the internet? And I discovered. And then I said, well, what was the second appearance? Discovered. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay. So we end up going back to October and November. Okay. October and November. And I said, well, who were the first people who were posting and discussing this website? All right. Mental note. And then I remembered something. I said, hey, you know what? I remember Murder Sheet talking about that website. So I had to go back and listen to 5 Murder Sheet episodes. You guys think I don't sacrifice for the community? 5 Murder Sheet episodes, y'all. Each over an hour. Yeah. And bingo, I found the reference. So, yeah, exactly. So I found the first several mentions of the website, who the people were. Then I found the Murder Sheet episode which describes their revelation about it. Okay. Anyhow, put that on hold and set it aside in your minds, because we'll come back to that. So then we're going to start our journey now, okay? Because like everyone, I was highly interested in this video. So what did I do? I took the video, all right? I brought it into my computer, and then I did, I don't know, let's go look. What is it, about a 7-minute or 9-minute video? It's 7 minutes and 55 seconds, and it's called Delphi Bridge Guy Video Exploration. Okay, and what I did is I played it in its original form, and then I started speeding it, slowing it, filtering it, messing with the colors, doing all sorts of things. You may remember, if you've seen it on my channel, I did a 7 minute and 55 second video exploration of Libby's video, quote unquote. Okay, where I slow it down, I speed it up, I do the colors. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I thought it would be good to kind of deep dive it without a verbal description, just for your eyes. Thank you for the condolences for having to endure 5 hours of murder shits. But I found what I wanted to, so it was all worth it. And thank you for the super chat. Anyway, so I posted, you may remember, I posted the video, okay? And when I posted the video, lo and behold, something happened the next day. Okay, so let me share that with you. Just a moment. Okay. So let's see what happened when I did that. Okay, can you guys see this? Thank you, Deb. No, trust me, it'll come into play later. Okay, it'll come into play. Thank you, Deb, for the super chat. Okay, I'm trying to get through my description here, but let's see. I can go up top for this one. All right. Let's see. All right, so I'm trying to show you here now. Thank you so much, Deb. So what happened is I got a copyright claim on the video. I mean, remember, I'm trying to take you as I discovered this, okay? So when I got the copyright claim on the video, I thought, what in the world? Well, it turns out it was from a gray media. Okay, so I got this copyright claim from a gray media group. It was actually called Gray Television Group, Inc. So let's see. So what happened is I made this post and I said, see, I love to be proven right. What are the odds that an advertising firm, a PR firm, a media firm contracted by the Lafayette Police Department will be claiming copyright on the Bridge Guy video? Okay. So what happened is when I got this Gray Television Inc. Strike, which is here, it's on the 5th page. Okay, you see it says Gray Television Group. It's right here, Gray Television Group. When that happened, I deep dived the Gray Television Group. And what I discovered is this stuff here. That Gray Television Group is also known as Gray Media. It's the operator of WNDU. Okay. And what I found here is this contract here for the Lafayette Police Department for them to do some targeted ads, okay, some production, okay, some production, and some streaming and different media products for the Lafayette, Indiana Police Department. And I thought, well, that's odd. So the copyright claim that I receive on this Bridge Guy video, and no one else received this damn claim but me. I thought, wow, it's pretty odd. They work or contract out to the Lafayette PD. What are the odds? What are the odds? And here I found from May of 2023 a letter from the chief of police, okay, referencing this contract. Okay, then I found, you see, it says there's a 6-month, $54,000 contract. 6-month, $54,000 contract for content, including ads. This is the minutes from the May 9th Board of Public Works and Safety, in which the police department contract is referenced. Again, $54,000 for 6 months. Right here, there's another reference I pulled up that says Jeremy Deal, controller, presented for the board approval of claims in the amount of $5,246,851.23. Okay. President Henriot asked a question on page 17 regarding the Gray Media Group invoice and the status of the contract. Okay. Mayor Rozarski stated that it's only been about a month, but everything is going okay so far. Mr. Deal stated the invoice for Lafayette Police Department recruiting tactics. Okay. Again, so basically my intention was to show that there's a definitive connection, at least in the amount of $9,100 per month from the Gray Media WNDU, Gray Media, Heather Parmalee, direct connection to Lafayette Police Department. So I thought in my thinking, why in the hell am I the only one being struck for this video or claimed on this video? A thing I'm still fighting. And why on earth is it the case that these people are connected to Lafayette PD? And that's all I did. Do you see anything else in here? You know, do you see me blaming anyone or asserting anyone? No, you don't. Okay. All you do is I am showing who claimed the content. I'm also showing the ties to Lafayette PD in 2023. Okay. Like I said, it also says it's a 6-month contract with potential reevaluation of the contract after 6 months. Okay. So that's that. Now, it should be simple. It should be a simple deal. You know, that's all it is. Now, but unfortunately, that was only the beginning. Okay. That was only the beginning. Now, the next series of events were very bewildering. And it's going to lead us into where we're going. Okay. So what happens is there's someone named K.O. She's the one who struck me for merely mentioning her name on the previous video. Okay. The mere mention of her name was enough to cause her to strike out at me. Now, understand that this is unnecessary, right? This is unnecessary because I can mention anyone's name I want to. For instance, I don't know, John Smith, right? John Smith. How about how about um how about Ron Logan? Oh, okay. How about Jake Johns? Yeah. How about Mike Patty? You see, you can mention people's names. There's no law against that. Okay, but good old KO, she's skeptical. Okay, so when you look at this chat here, this is skeptical KO and Alex Voorhees uh, going back and forth. So the funny thing is, Alex sends me a text message. He says, "Profs, KO's losing her mind. She's losing her mind over this Lafayette thing." And I said, "What?" He said, "I don't know, dude. Let me show you." So he sends me some of this. Okay, this is some of it. Like I said, there's 2 to 3 times more than this. But this is what he sends me. Hey, thank you, Ninja Warrior Assassin. Thank you. Apologize. This is going to be a long-winded explanation. I apologize. It's taking long. Okay, so says, Alex says, KO is freaking the fuck out, Prof. And here's it all. Here's a bunch of it. So I start looking at this. If he wasn't such an asshole, Luke could have written the station manager and told him they did not have copyright on the video. Ooh, really? What does that mean? But no, he has to be such an effing a-hole. He cuts off his nose to spite his face every effing time. People would have rallied around him. I told him to lay off Angela, basically. We would have supported and helped him, but he had to jump the gun and start blaming people without evidence. He assumed it was the cops, when the cops likely had nothing to do with it. What? What does it matter to you, KO? What does it matter to you, KO? Are you trying to protect the cops? But the station manager is a whole lot better suspect, because if he didn't do it, he can sure find out who did, because they now have legal issues and could end up looking really effing bad if he had played it right. TV stations making false copyright, their competitors would eat it up. Wish TV would be all over it. And I at first suspect them above all others, and I'm still not ruling it out given their close association with murder shits. Alex says he's not blaming Angela. He's blaming the digital media company. He's saying Angela and Luke posted it on the website. He doesn't need to say her name. Let me get the whole clip. Now, let me be clear to you. This is before I did the Mean Girl stream. Okay? Just understand. This is before I did the Mean Girl stream. So she pulls up this clip in which I am saying something to the effect of, "Hey, anonymous person, I'm giving you until Monday to put your big girl panties on and use your face and get out here." But KO rightfully assumes that I'm talking about Angela. Why would a girl be behind this? Prof has woman issues, dude. Oh, of course, because that's always the go-to. Woman hater, woman issues. Let a lack of them. He's not talking about Ein. How do you know who I'm talking about? Or Lara from HTC. You mean Lauren? How do you know I'm not talking about Lauren? He's not talking about T or Sleuthy. Really? How do you know who the fuck I'm talking about? How did you know I wasn't talking about Sleuthy? How did you know I wasn't talking about Teresa? How did you know I wasn't talking about Laura or Lauren? So, gee, who's left? Well, how do you know I was talking about Angela, KO? What's the story with Prof? Why does he think it was the Lafayette station when they also have one in Fort Wayne, which is Gull's home turf? No, let me explain for you, KO. I was blaming the station in Fort Wayne, WNDU, because that's who has the contract with Lafayette PD. Yes, the one in Fort Wayne. Someone is effing only with him, and I wonder why. Did he ever file anything with the court? I don't know. Why would he be on anyone's radar? I mean, any more than the rest of us. I don't know, bitch. How about if I do 15 to 20 hours a week and I say things people don't like? Who are you, KO? You're a behind-the-scene operator. Like a bunch of you. You pull puppet strings behind the scenes, and you don't put it all at risk like I do on this live stream. All right. Alex says, yeah, same. I'm sure it'll come out in the next week. I guess he found that the police department contracted out that particular firm, but I'm guessing others did too in the state. Alex being completely reasonable here and accurate. That's to provide streaming services to the department. Has nothing to do with anything with him. We don't know what kind. Could be streaming CCTV cameras. KO, why are you trying to separate the Lafayette PD from this entire situation? I think it's kind of odd. Like you're really pushing hard. I think one person did it, but they should have given him contact info. Yes, they did. They gave me Gray Media Television Inc. WNDU. Hello. When Murder Street copyright struck me on Twitter, I only got their name, but I didn't dig into the paperwork. I didn't care. No one on our side is effing with you, Prof. Well, I didn't blame. When did I blame you? When did I blame you? I didn't blame anyone on your side, whatever side that might be. What skeptical? Let me ask you a question, KO. How is your side different from my side? How is your side? What is your side, KO? I have a question about that. Are you saying that I'm not on the same side that you're on? I'll let him know right now, says Alex. I said that's Troll Farm Murder Sheet territory. And she's trying now to blame Murder Sheet, who has absolutely nothing to do with this. He says it's a real company and really tied to law enforcement. I know that. Okay. So let me So I found it odd when you got to understand, Alex stressed me the fuck out. Okay, so he started sending me this. So Alex stresses me the fuck out with all that, and he sends it all to me, which stresses me out. And I thought, wow, why is she trying so hard to separate Lafayette PD from this gray media over the subject? It's odd. Well, the thing is, I had already noticed that some other people were doing the same. Okay? Now, a funny thing happened. Is that before this video was released, and I mean the one that I just showed you, someone sent me a message and said, Prof, Angela said she really needs to get the video out there. She needs to leak it. And this was in the day before the video appeared out of nowhere on that website. Well, like I said, I did my research. I scoured the internet. I watched Twitter, and I listened to 5 hours plus of Murder Sheet. So I knew first person I was going to go to was Luke Nicholas, because Murder Sheet said The owners of that website are Luke Nicholas and Carol Weinecke. Okay, so I'll say it again. Murder Sheet alleged that the owners of that website were Luke Nicholas and Kara Weinecke. Well, I already knew that Luke owned it. So I was a gentleman, and I messaged him. And I said, Luke, let me start by saying I'm not trying to start a war between sides here. But I'm sure you've heard my recent statements about this video drop. I'm not going to do a bunch of back and forth here. I'm just going to say what I have to say and leave it up to you. I've made it very clear a number of times that you all need to step forward immediately. I need you or someone else, the person who is the actual go-between, to step forward and say what actually happened and take responsibility for the video. By releasing this anonymously, you all have caused a lot of unneeded distractions and criticisms, and you need to clear it up. Otherwise, I will say what happened. People should be arguing about the contents of the video, breaking it down in detail, and not debating the authenticity or provenance of it. This case already suffers from a lack of transparency, and you all have added to it, unfortunately. Please have everyone do the right thing. And that was my attempt to have them man up so that I didn't have to be mean. You know how hostile this environment is, says Luke. The only way they've been able to attack this video is by turning us against each other. No one turned me against you. This video is out. Over 700,000 people have seen it. How would you know? The state can't take it down. How do you know? That's a huge win for Rick. In what way? But instead of focusing on what's in it, people are just getting baited into fighting. No. Sounds like I said people should be arguing about the contents of the video, not debating the authenticity. I get why you want more transparency, and in a perfect world, I agree. If someone had dropped this on 4chan anonymously, it wouldn't have sparked this level of scrutiny. So why are we doing this to ourselves? The focus should stay on the video and what it proves. What does it prove? Not on who uploaded it. Hopefully Rick's legal team transitions to a more strategic communications footing in the very near future. I, for one, hope so, because I think the original defense team have been very poor at this. You'll do what you think best. Oh, I guarantee I would. But I just urge a second thought to the complexities here. You're trying to spin the argument I'm making. But like I said, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I said what I have to say, and I urge you all to take claim of it before tomorrow. Then it gets interesting, okay? Because like I said, remember, in what I said was by Monday, I'm going to go live with it. Well, it's funny because this is Sunday too, and I'm trying my hardest. But he says, cool, by the way, rickallenjustice.com does not have the same IP address as the two sites I used to maintain. That's factually incorrect. I've heard that you've been putting this rumor around. Well, you heard wrong. Let me say something to you. You heard wrong. I ain't put shit rumor around. But it sounds like you're trying to distance yourself. Those sites aren't even up at the moment. Please be sure your reveal is fact-based. Oh, it will be. And be careful listening to axe grinders in comment sections. Who am I listening to? First of all, I did not put that rumor around. Your source is full of shit. Secondly, of course you would use a different IP address, like a VPN. Hello. And thirdly, I've asked you all step forward. Out of compassion and sympathy, trying to not start a war. But if you're going to continue to gaslight, I'm going to see what I have to say. And what I meant to say is say what I have to say. I think we all know the truth. Well, so I went live. Let me stop this for a minute. So I went live, and I did the mean stream. Okay, I was pissed because I already knew. Listen, here's the deal. I went to those who I knew were responsible, which is why I went to Luke, which is why I went to Sleuthy, which is why I went to someone else. In any way, that was on the 9th, and then the 10th came, right? The 10th came. Now, that was, just consider, that was a month ago. That was a month ago. Okay, we'll get back to it. After an entire week, Luke makes a post. Over 700,000 people have now seen the full BG video, a massive win for Rick Allen. A handful of people, the prof, want to distract you with nonsense about a domain name. For the record, the domain name does not have the same IP address as the two sites I ran, but if it did, so what? That's not what matters. Yes, the domain was purchased with a privacy service because that's standard practice for a sensitive project. We operate in an environment of lawfare, harassment, and hacking attempts. The site was built quickly and strategically as a backstop in case Rick was found guilty. It turned out to be a smart move. Over 5,000 people signed up for email updates because they care deeply about the case. A creator, it's me, hello, it's Prof, is referencing a Lafayette Police Department contract with Gray Media from May of 2023. A simple Google search shows what this contract is, link below. Hello, why did you need a simple Google search when I showed? Well, let's be clear here. Didn't I show this? You don't need a Google search. I had already posted it. I had already posted the details. I posted the actual contract and all the minutes from the meetings. I didn't need a simple Google search. I did a deep search in the Lafayette Civic website. There was never an enhanced video. There were 3 to 5 frames using interpolation to make a very short video of Bridge Guy. False. False. Blatantly, patently false. It's not 3 to 5 frames, okay? It's about 48 frames, if I remember correctly, because I did do an entire frame-by-frame extraction on that small motion fix ISP release about 2 years ago. That's where the confusion is coming from. And whoever is responsible for that confusion should have a hard, long think. You mean me? Sure. I always have hard, long thinks. I mean, it's pretty much what I do all day, every day. Beware of conspiracy theorists like the Prof Seek truth for yourself and reach your own conclusions. Don't be led by anyone like the prof. Then comes the "I'm going to sue you" threats, which was sent to me. Okay, this was a comment under one of my posts. Damages for pro se defamation in Indiana are capped at $50,000. Next time you want to talk about me, make sure it's factual. Consider this a cease and desist. You see, that's the proof. Why are you so butthurt about this particular angle? Stalker obsessed much? Talking about the Lafayette PD angle. Now remember, what was KO losing her mind about? Let's go back to that. Remember KO losing her mind? About the Lafayette PD angle? He assumed it was the cops when the cops likely had nothing to do with it. Cops had nothing to do with it. By the way, I'll sue you for $50,000 if you don't shut up. Are you able to engage in a conversation without personal attacks? No way. I've tried that, and you all treated me like I was stupid. I meant every word I said. And if any of you had any integrity at all, you would step forward and tell the public the truth. Prof, this is getting ridiculous. Here's the truth. Rick Allen's defense attorneys released a BG video. We went to huge expense to make sure the original file, untouched by us, was available to the public. Hold on, who's we? We didn't even optimize the video file, which would have saved over $2,000 in hosting expenses. Wait. I thought you didn't release it. Hold on. Hold on. We didn't even optimize the video, which could have saved over $2,000 in hosting expenses, in order that the original file itself was available to anyone. You took it upon yourself to enter into a rage at Angela and me based on your assumptions. No, they're not assumptions, they're facts. Okay? You wrongly accused me of working on behalf of police via Gray and of modifying the video. Did I really? Did I? Did I accuse anyone of working for the police? Or did I just put out the facts that Gray Media is tied to the police? Why are we so sensitive about this police versus Gray Media connection? Who is we? We're not treating you like you're stupid. Yes, you are. Because you're not telling the truth when I give you the opportunity. Out of respect. Your personal attacks are a disgrace and far below what anyone expects from a teacher. Well, guess what, fuckface? I am retired. No. The thing is, this set a whole series of angry people into motion because no one wanted to hear a accountability or truth about it. Now, you see, it's very clear, Luke, that they would use you because you're across the Atlantic Ocean. All right. There's a jurisdictional separation, just like they've done with several individuals who stalk and harass us, who they ensure are across the ocean, because it's much harder to get law enforcement to deal with the stalking and harassing across that ocean. Just like they knew it would be harder for the judge to do anything about the leaking of this video if it's someone across the ocean. But it gets rich because, like I said, the mean girls do mean girl shit. Mostly Darvo. Mostly Darvo. All right. So this Shaney Baney, Shaney Bug, there's other names I'm not going to repeat because I don't have to. I'm sure many of you know who she is. She starts with the blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah. Was not happy about me being mean. Of course, hey, I fully acknowledge, I admit I was being mean. But it's interesting because some things start to happen with the Darvo. Because, of course, because we haven't seen this exact insane behavior escalate into something actually life-threatening before, right? Okay, so I'm dangerous because I told the truth that you would not take accountability. Okay, and then it gets even better because the Darvo really kicks in. This man thinks he's entitled because his ego was deflated because nobody went to him for permission or whatever he thinks he's deserving of permission. Oh, let's go back to that letter. Hold on, young lady. Hold on, young lady. Let's go back to the actual words. Let me start by saying I'm not trying to start a war. I'm not going to have a bunch of back and forth. I'm going to say what I have to say. I made it clear. You need to step forward. You or someone else. By releasing this anonymously, you've all caused a lot of unneeded distractions and criticism. People should be arguing about the contents of the video, not debating the authenticity or provenance. Does that sound like it's ego-based? Does that sound like I'm asking for I'm expecting someone to ask me for permission? I don't think so. I'm not asking anyone. I don't expect anyone to ask me for permission. I mean, we're all adults here, are we not? But the Darvo kicks in full on, okay? Okay? Why does it even matter who released it? Because hundreds of people were asking. That's why it matters. Because you caused the point to be who did it rather than what is it about. Why does he think because he demands to know that everyone should raise their hands? He has entire tantrums if you disagree with him. Then he calls inner city black kids the best liars and manipulators ever. Oh, is that the allegation that I'm racist? Okay, I got a wake-up call. Wake-up call for you, lady. Both my kids are black. He got his ego bruised because nobody feels as though they owe him an explanation. And now he's mad because not everyone appreciated what he said. No, I understand you were all mad because I was mean. I expected you to owe the world an explanation. What's weird is that he thinks he's owed an explanation and demands to know who put the video out. No, the people demanded to know who put it out. The point is that this is what the state has handed over as raw footage. That's who you should be looking at for answers, and I am. A grown-ass man talking about his little feelers and how he's a victim because he wasn't asked by Baldwin to release it. Who says Baldwin released it? Okay. Secondly, I was not talking about my feelings. I said you victimized the community by causing more confusion, doubt, and distractions. Who does Mr. Keyboard think he fucking is? Oh, you mean these keyboards behind me? Mr. Keyboard? Okay, I guess I'll go with that. He is the new Gray Hughes. No, not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. We get into more. Vienna is being an absolute angel. Fingers crossed everyone can behave as adults and stop the unnecessary arguing and bullying. Move on and focus on what matters. The case, the girls. Absolutely. You're only right and you're not wrong. But look at this one. We go back to the Darvo, right? I hear y'all, but we actually perpetuate harm when we frame one-way attacks as one-sided wars. There's literally no bickering or group conflict occurring here, right? Because you have everyone else take the licks for you. The hostility is coming from one lone individual. No, I think it's coming from about 380 people. We should probably hold the responsible parties accountable. Yes, you all. I need to get that video out there. Is that the quote? Let's believe as I was told. It's time to leak it. A single person, that's me, Prof. Notice how I'm not named. A single person is spewing vile hate at women. Sure, that's what I'm doing. Because I hate women, right? And I'm racist. Curating conflict. All because he knows that helps his engagement. Do you think I need this shit? No, I do way better when I'm actually covering the case and not dealing with you fucktards interfering. Has personal issues with the select few for existing without his permission. Existing without permission. Let's see. I think I've seen that statement come out of your mouth before. It was specifically, it was along, I'm just a girl existing on the internet. No, there's a lot more than just existing. Okay. Angela, I know you want to portray yourself as the victim, as that's your specialty. Maybe you should check all of your cult members who simultaneously attacked me as if they were sent. And that's what I get. That's what I get for being right. Now, we sort of have to move on because that was phase one. Okay, so this went in several phases, and we're going to cover that. So that was phase one, which was the initial headbutting. Okay, that's the initial headbutting. Because what you haven't seen, and what I'm not going to show you, is I would say there was about 85, I don't know, 85 to 100 Twitter messages that I received. Okay, there was about 85 to 100 within 2 days Twitter messages I received from all of the friends of these people. Maybe I should read some of them. I'd prefer to just skip it, but I guess I could read one or two. I didn't put in the slideshow because I didn't want to. Might as well title this one, I didn't take my meds for a week and I'm going to burn everything down because I got mad. Like, holy shit. Also blaming the people in court and calling them liars. Oh, we're doing the insane. You're glorifying a murderer now. Uh, any of those chat saving lives? Dude, holy shit. Dude, the person you're watching has literally wished worse and accused him of worse tonight, you fucker. There should be a no internet rule for pieces of shit like you. Grow some balls. I don't know. There's about 85 more, but I'll just skip a bunch of that because I'd rather get on with the damn program here. All right. So anyway, so what am I getting at? I was not wrong. So why? Okay, why? So first of all, I gave 3 days before I came and told you all because I wanted to give time. I wanted to give some time for them to think about it and just step forward and say, hey, I got this video from Matt Hoffman or whoever, and I put it on my website on behalf of the defense or whatever the story is. I don't care what the story is. I just thought least you could do is tell the people what the story is. You couldn't. And then the night before, I came again. And I went to Luke and I went to Sleuty Goosey. And I asked them both, same questions. Please go clear this up so I don't have to. One other odd thing started to happen. Because this all came in phases. Okay, so that first phase, you know, after I came out and I was all mean intentionally, but told the truth. It's odd that like so like a so of course there's 150 fucking messages over a week that I have to deal with, and understand that every time one of the mean girl messages comes, my phone goes off, which disturbs me from what else I'm doing, and I check it and say, "Oh, someone's telling me to go eat my own balls." Okay? Or someone else is telling me that I hate women. Okay. So you know, a week or two goes by and it subsides. Thank goodness. And then for some reason, Michael Osbrook decides it's his turn. Okay. Now, as if it wasn't bad enough with the mean girls, something starts happening. Okay. So out of the blue, April 1st, it'd be nice if people like the prof would stop gratuitously insulting and haranguing people who are doing actual work. What? Oh, so just a question here. Are you saying that the 15 hours a week away from my kid, sitting here advocating for Richard Allen and Abby and Libby, that's not work. That's not work. Then the next day, I'm forgetting to say something. I'm forgetting to say something, and that's this. You see, Michael Osbrook doesn't understand the power that he holds over, I don't know, about 35 mean girls. Okay? He doesn't understand the power that he holds over a bunch of idol worshipers named the mean girls who idolize Michael Osbrook. Because every single time Michael Osbrook puts my name out with a complaint, guaranteed 35 fucking harassing, mean ass messages immediately follow. Okay? But the next day, so April 1st, Osbrook post, and then 35 mean girl comments. All right. April 2nd, once again, sorry, I draw the line at the prof trolling with lies. Trolling with lies. Trolling with lies. What's the lie? And once again, 35 mean girls right behind him. With this kind of shit, Granny G comes in with actual wisdom, okay? Look into the gray rock method, Osbrook. When a behavior doesn't elicit the desired effect, the behavior will usually stop. But here we come with the mean girls. Okay, mean girls come in immediately. Prepare for a 4-hour YouTube live where you get called whatever the male equivalent of libtard mean girl cunt is. Then comes another mean girl. Oh, Michael, he cannot stand not being the center of attention. He's so full of himself that he hasn't gotten over being kicked off of a Discord server that doesn't even exist anymore 2 effing years ago. And that's the type of shit I mean. 30 of those behind one comment. Do you understand how this works? Ha ha! Laugh my ass off. Here's Michael Osbrook apparently not doing actual work on top of authoring a motion to correct errors for the defense. Catch Prof's hard work on YouTube, I guess. Yeah, actually, bitch. YouTube is hard work. And more than 1,000 hours here for Richard Allen, which you all seem to not acknowledge, appreciate, or even understand. It's disappointing to see someone who claims to be simply trying to get to the bottom of the truth discredit himself with repeated untruths about me and others, which he attempts to pass off as truth. That is exactly what trolling is. No, this is exactly what trolling is. It's disappointing to see someone who should be a respected individual stoop to the level of trolling and trying to discredit another who is simply trying to get to the bottom of truth, is what I said. Yeah, and you've also tried to discredit Christine and Erica, who are 2 very nice PIs who have worked for Richard Allen and Kathy Allen, apparently to the consternation of all you mean girls, because you don't appreciate the fact that they know things. They have seen Discovery, unlike you, and they actually communicate and care about the family that we are discussing. But again, remember, this is 4 days in a row, and every time 35 mean girl comments. I had to eventually delete all the shit and block the shit. But I'm trolling. I'm the one trolling. Okay, I see where we are. Okay. So that was a lot. Okay, that's been a lot. because altogether in totality, I would say it's about 150 to 200 mean girl comments I've had to deal with from the Mean Girl Club, who have essentially become the new troll farm. Now, there's more to the story. Because I say, this is odd. It's very odd behavior. Like let's try to understand why you've got, of course, you've got the troll farm, right? You've got the troll farm. You've got the prosecution shills. Well, it's understandable why they would try to discredit, shame, cancel. You know, it's understandable. But I really try to understand, I try to wrap my mind around why would defense people, allegedly, Matt Hoffman, Angela, Mean Girls, Osbrook, why would they be trying to discredit and shame and cancel and harass, gangstalk Prof, Erica, and Christine investigators? And who the fuck is we? Who is we? We spent $2,000. No, we could have saved $2,000 on posting the video. Who's we? It's a fair question, but I think it deserves repeating. Who is we? Since I'm so wrong and I deserve to be sued, I mean, I'm just trying to understand who is, let's see. First of all, you know the statistics that 700,000 people have seen the video, which means you know the statistics from the internals of the site. Okay. You know there's 5,000 email addresses, which means you also receive statistics from the inside of the site. Okay. You're also saying there's zero relevancy to the Lafayette PD, which is an interesting claim, just like KO is making. And I'm a conspiracy theorist and a cult leader, okay? And I need to be sued for defamation for telling the truth. And where is it? Where's the we? We went to huge expense. We would have saved over $2,000 in hosting expense. Who the fuck is we? It's a fair question. So what's with these people? Tom Webster altered the audio of Rick's interrogation video and cropped it. That's why the exhibits should have been batched released raw. We don't know what qualitative differences these kinds of edits make. When the BG video was released, it was the full raw unedited video, 84 megabytes, no edits. Imagine the backlash if we had done any sort of, oh, it's just an improvement. Yeah. If we, that word again. Who's we? And then look here. A few days ago, you remember, let's pull it down and reset. Tom Webster. Okay, let's get into something here. Because a week ago, someone called me. A week ago, someone calls me and they say, Prof, Hannah just called me. Hannah Shakespeare. She says she's getting the thumb drive Monday. And I said, hold on. No one else is saying that. No one said a word about a thumb drive. What do you mean Hannah Shakespeare is getting a thumb drive on Monday? Well, I mean, she said her producer is getting the thumb drive on Monday. I said, oh, really? Let's put out some feelers about this and see if anything is being released Monday. And I did some work. And yeah, no one else knows a goddamn thing. And I'm talking about every YouTube, all the big YouTubers. I did some work. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? If I'm sitting down and listening to 5 hours of Murder Sheet, when I'm telling you I did some work this weekend to find out who's getting the thumb drive Monday, not one of them. Not one of them. But it's funny because what happens Monday? Tom Webster goes live with the entire troll farm in the comment section. Go look at the live. If you want to understand what I'm saying, do this. You go to the Tom Webster live from Monday. Look at the live chat. 95% troll farm. The entire troll farm was in there. They all knew about it ahead of time. Okay, you get where I'm coming from? This was a troll farm operation. It was a troll farm operation. Now, here's the thing. Hannah's going to get the thumb drive Monday. Tom Webster goes live with the troll farm Monday night. The only one and the first one. What's funny because that happens, and what happens? I get this. Someone sends me this. Someone says, Prof, this dude's fucking with you again. I hope they checked with Prof before they released all this. I thought you blocked me, dude. I thought you blocked me. Did you block me so you could talk this kind of shit without people sending it to me? Because they're going to send it to me anyway. You realize I have 5,000 people watch this channel, and a bunch of people send me a bunch of shit every day. I can't even keep up with the emails. So of course I'm going to get shit like this. Okay. So let's see. Let me look at the calendar. Monday was the 7th, which means as it was happening, I hope they check with Prof before they released all this. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Yeah, because I bitched when you released the shit. And Jennifer Simpson is having an amazing day. Jenny Cruz, y'all. Do y'all know who Jen Cruz is? Yes. Figure it out. Jen Cruz is just having a goddamn ball because it's allegedly, it's very funny that I'm upset that you fucked around and released the Bridge Guy video without any accountability whatsoever. Yeah, so the first thing you can think about to tweet about when Tom Webster's playing that shit with the entire troll farm is getting a dig in on Prof because you've blocked him, so he surely won't see this. Well, then oddly enough, we have a little... I know that website sounds familiar, doesn't it? rickallenjustice.com. Oh, I've seen that before. Where have I seen that before? I just don't know, man. rickallenjustice.com. Hmm. Funny, has anyone beside Twisted Media, Tom, received their thumb drive? Wait, No, hold on. I thought it was Hannah Shakespeare who received the thumb drive. Hmm. I find it quite interesting that the only person who received it is someone who filed a motion with the court. No, I find it interesting that it's Tom Webster who gets to premiere this earth-shattering footage to the world, and he's a Richard Allen is guilty guy. I think that's pretty weird, Sleuthy. I find that quite interesting. You damn right they are. You damn right they are. So you know who said, you know what, to you know who, let's just keep this between me and you, something like that. Twist Media filed a motion to get them and they were magically released. But did they? But did they? Did they? Who honestly, you know what I find very odd? Okay, I'll say this to you. This is what I find very fucking odd. Why is it that what's released solely consists of the phone calls, confessions, selected phone calls? Keep in mind, did you hear any other phone calls or just those? And the two interviews. I mean, with all the other shit you got to release to the world, let's see. What about the ballistics? Oh yeah. What about the footage of Richard Allen beating the shit out of himself? Or how about covered in shit? Or how about being led around in a wheelchair type of device with the hood on? How about all that shit? How about it's pretty fucking odd that the only things released are the phone calls and the interrogation? I think it's pretty fucking odd, honestly. Thought they were some sort of documentary producers or something like that. Yes, Hannah Shakespeare for documentary. Tom is working for her. So is Aspen, but I can't remember who else. Huh. Damn it, I kind of liked her. Unbelievable. Yeah, it is fucking odd. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna watch my language, Dr. Vonda. That and listen, let me say something. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I want to apologize to you, Dr. Vonda. I tried to find you on Twitter, I couldn't find you. I apologize for my language the other day, Dr. Vonda. I went ahead and fixed it. If you go back, you'll find that I fixed it. I just muted it out and put music. I put nice music, Dr. Vonda. I didn't mean to be so crass. I was just really, really, really upset. And I was being ridiculous. I just want to personally apologize for being ridiculous. Okay. Hannah Shakespeare, Tom Webster, Aspen Connor. Floothy Goosey, Luke Nicholas. I thought this was funny too. I thought this was funny. Defamation Day. Defamation Day. While people do actual work, there's that term again. There's that term again. Actual work. You know, I thought this was pretty inappropriate for someone like an attorney. Trust me, this is going to be hard for you guys. It's supposed to be hard. Okay, this is a challenge to our preconceived notions and our prejudices and biases. Impeach Trump now. Impeach Trump now. So I have a question. Why is it that it's the far leftists who always end up becoming so-called victims advocates? And they end up becoming the people who say, Chris Watts is innocent. Really? Chris Watts? Brian Kohlberger is innocent. Really? Luigi Mangione is innocent. Free Luigi. Really? So we love murderers. We love murderers. This is really some weird, like a foster child advocating for killer shit. So why are you dirtying up Richard Allen? But why should we be bringing politics? You see, here's a problem I have. Here's a problem I have with this. And I'll say it because it needs to be said, like a bunch of what I'm about to say. Impeach Trump now. But let me tell you a story. So you see, Michael, you were offered the opportunity to be connected with someone who would give you a direct line to Todd Rokita. Why did you refuse it over politics? I'm trying to understand here. Why would you put politics before Richard Allen if what you care about is Richard Allen? You see, when you're offered the opportunity to meet a senator who's going to connect you directly to the attorney general, you take that chance. You take that connection, in my opinion. I don't understand why you would reject that opportunity. So I would think you would say, yeah, I'll meet the senator. I'll meet the senator and have her introduce me to Todd Rokita so that I can personally explain to Todd Rokita why he needs to take a close look at this. Opportunities like that don't come around every day. Seems like politics to me. Seems like politics. Is this all politics? Jeez. There's more. Actually, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there. And if you're hate watching right now, let me just say this. I think you know what the more is. But I think what I'll do is give you another week on that, okay? I think I'll give you another week on that. But it will see the light of day. Okay. Let me check the chat. I'm trying to thank you very much. Looks like I got a Dr. Vonda K. Thank you very much. And Dr. Spike Dog. Thank you, Spike Dog. Thank you, Spike Dog. Like I said, I'm trying to be patient, just like I was with this Bridge Guy release. Let me be very clear, you guys. Trying to be patient and give you the opportunity to do the right thing. Didn't I preface that whole thing with, I don't want to start a war here? See, the thing is, I don't want to start a war, but here's what I'm upset about. That you would feel it necessary. That you would feel it necessary to try to discredit someone for telling the truth. You see, here's the way I work. If you tell the truth, I'm not going to try to discredit you for it, throw you under the bus to discredit you. I'll either admit that it's true or I'll just be silent. So I don't get the bloodlust of saying, we'll just mean girl your ass to death. We'll Darvo your ass to death because you told the truth about the fuck shit we were doing. I think that's really inappropriate. I think it's inappropriate. Especially when someone has done what I've done. Now, what have I done? Look, Michael, I'm not even going to repeat myself to you. Like I said, I sat here for 2 years. Do you understand the type of hits that I took? Other people seem not to really fucking understand. Do you understand the licks or the hits that I've taken to sit here and talk about this case? I would think it would be just kind of decency to stay in your lane, allow me to exist. If you don't like me, you don't like me. Just fucking stay out of the way. But to have to go that extra mile, you guys don't make sense. And like I said, because before I started with you on this shit the past few months, I said, please just clear it up for the people. Like, does that sound selfish? Serious question there. Does it sound selfish to say clear it up for the people? Because listen, bottom line is people looked at that video with this bridge guy. Okay. People looked at that video and said, something doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. And you know what my eyes said when I first laid eyes on it? I said, it doesn't look right. There's something wrong here. You had conflicting statements from people who were in the courtroom who say, no, it's not what we saw in the courtroom. Then you had the stuff we found on the deep dives, especially considering the audio that I brought up, that this audio seems to indicate another person, and then the shadows look all weird. I mean, this piece of footage was rife with complications. And let me ask you this. How do you expect people to take your word for it, but you don't have anything to do with this? This is the cognitive dissonance. So the whole approach you all had was, it's directly from the defense, but it wasn't us. Well, hey, it's either one or the other. If it's you and you know it's directly from the defense, then that all adds up. That's an equation. A plus B equals C. If you had nothing to do with it, hands off, how in the hell do you know that it's directly from Andy Baldwin? And why wouldn't Andy Baldwin say, hey, yo, it's from me? Or is it from Matt Hoffman? Does Andy even know? And who the fuck is we? I mean, let's be honest here. No one wants a war, but this is the question. This is the question. Why would you try to destroy someone, discredit someone, distance someone who's on your side? And what the hell did that mean, KO? What did it mean, KO? Our side? It wasn't on our... Who the F is our side? Where is that? It's not the cops. Where is it? It's not the cops. It doesn't. It's not the cops. It's not the cops. No one on our side is effing with the prof. I thought we're all on the same side here, KO. Are we all on the same side? Or am I... See, was I being the delusional one the whole time? The stupid one? The naive one? Was I being the goofball here the whole time thinking, oh, well, they're on the side of Free Rick Allen. They're on the side of the defense. They're on the side of truth. Well, apparently we're not on the same side, right? And let's be clear here. You were speaking up for Angela, Michael Osbrook, the Mean Girls, I mean, the Unravel, I mean, the Knot, or whatever the fuck you call yourself, the Due Process Gang. So if you're speaking up for that contingent, how is it not my side? Because, you know, I was the idiot this whole time thinking, hey, we're all on the same side. But maybe I'm the stupid one because I would believe that we're all on the same side, where clearly I should have known. And like I said, the person okay, let's go back to that one because we gotta get to that one, because this is where it comes into play. I'm upset about being kicked out of a Discord. Where is it? Come on, because we need to talk about that, because that's where it doesn't make. Okay, yeah, EMS at the bottom. Oh, Michael, he cannot stand not being the center of attention. He's so full of himself that he hasn't gotten over being kicked off a Discord server that was the Knot in the pit and the other fucking one, whatever it was called, 2 effing years ago. No, it was a year and a half. And the question is, why was I kicked out of that if we're all on the same side? Why would you ever kick out anyone, especially when the policy is don't kick anyone out? I have that email as well. It's on the community page. So the policy is we don't kick anyone out except Tyler Carpenter because he's racist. Remember? So why kick the prof out? Because I discovered that you all were backstabbing, talking weird about me. Is that why you kicked me out? Because the thing here is not immaturity, that I'm full of myself and I haven't gotten over being kicked off a Discord server. The thing is the suspicion of why would you do so? If we're on the same side, we're supporting a community here on the defense-friendly side, on the support Rick Allen side, on the Richard Allen is railroaded side, on the Jerry Holman's a liar side, on the F. Carroll County side. If we're all on the same side, someone explain it to me. You see, am I wrong here? Have I gone looking for trouble? Or is it, wait, is it political? I mean, maybe it's a fair question. Is it because of politics? I mean, I did catch you all calling me Trump several times, which I thought was pretty odd. But Trump, Gray Hughes, incel, woman hater, racist, man boy, whatever else. I mean, as far as I recall, I think I'm the only one with children in this entire group of people. You know, there's something about being a parent that gives you a little experience with life that you might not know if you don't have kids. I'm just saying, maybe the parents can vouch for that. Anyway, this is my attempt to correct the record when it comes to my take or my commentary on the BG video controversy. And thankfully, this time I did it without using many bad words. Okay. I was mean before. I was nicer this time. But the message is the same. So hopefully we'll be done with it. Now I'm sure I'll receive lots of hate Twitters. Like I said, I was gang stalked by the Not Girls, the Mean Girls Club. But hopefully we can move on. Maybe you'll explain who we is. Who is we? I'm sure people would want to know. People do want to know. Who is we? We'll move on with it. And the point that I tried to make from the beginning was, yes, the point should have been dissecting the video. But because you did it without transparency and with a bunch of effery, you made the discussion about something else, which is who the hell released this video? So you shot yourselves in the foot is the way we say it. Okay, you shot yourselves in the foot. Now, let's be clear here. I know what the intention was. Because there were many things I noticed. You were upset that people were not responding the way that you wanted. Okay, what you wanted people to say, I'm just going to assume here that the reaction you were looking for was, oh, look, Bridge Guy's not Rick Allen. I kind of think that that's probably what you were going for by leaking this video. Oh, look, it's not Rick Allen. Well, maybe you could have had that. You could have had maybe you would have gotten more of the, oh, look, it's not Rick Allen, if you would have just done it the right way, which is just like transparently, because as if we haven't had enough of a lack of transparency. And like I said, I still don't get the whole, it wasn't the Lafayette PD who struck you. It wasn't anyone tied to the Lafayette PD who struck that, who claimed copyright. It was just, we're not the cops. We're not doing this for Nick McClelland. We're not doing this for Lafayette PD. This has nothing to do with Lafayette PD or Nick McClelland. Really? That's a weird response to have when no one was really saying that. So anyway, y'all, the intention here is to be done with it. The intention is to be done with it. But like I said, I felt I had to come and show you some receipts and explain some things to you very clearly, because people have framed it as if I was attacking, going after. No, it's not. It's not. Okay. The video was struck down, and I left it down because I didn't like the mean words I was saying. Okay, so that's good too. I'm glad the video's gone. Like I said, I still own it. If I wanted to, I would publish it again, but I don't want to because I was pretty mean. So I'm trying to be nicer. But I got to tell the truth. I mean, my whole intention with this in the beginning was tell the truth to people. Why do you want to pull the puppet strings behind the scenes so badly? That one I'm trying to understand. Okay. And I was going to talk more about that tonight, but I'm not going to do it. But my question for you, ladies and gentlemen, who I'm addressing, is why do you feel you have to control this shit behind the scenes the way that you do? You're not PIs. You're not cops. You're not attorneys, well, except the one or two of you. When I had 35 people emailing me, asking me where that shit comes from, I think I have a right to ask the question. And so I did. And I'm sure you won't like it. And I'm sure I'll get some hate mail. And I'm sure I'll be beat up for the next 2 weeks over this. And I'm sure Michael Osbrook will make some more posts about how unreliable, discredited, and how much of a liar I am, and how much real work, actual work I don't do. But let me be clear here, because I take it really offensively. My 5-year-old is sitting in the next room on the couch watching a movie, waiting for me to be done with this, just like he is every single time. And I take offense at the sacrifice that he's undergone and that I've undergone to sit here and do this with you, and that you don't give me the credit for it. Let's be real here.